Well, folks, that's us live again in the Tasting Bothy. We're back in our old haunts at home. We're not actually in Clark's back garden in the Bothy tonight. That we'll save that for another time. This evening we're going to have a flavour of Japan. So when I was, yep, we're going Japanese. We really think so. Or that was turning Japanese, I think, the actual lyrics of the song one. So, yes. Yes, as many of those who have been observant and have been following us on Instagram, Clark, they'll have noticed that I was on my holidays in Dubai. And there was a few photographs of some Japanese drams, that I tried when I was away.
A few?
Yes, a few. One of them, some I'd already had before. The Hibiki I certainly hadn't had before. And there was one I didn't get the chance to try, which was called the Chita, or Chita, I think is how you pronounce it, Chita. So I decided to buy a bottle of that and bring it back. The strange thing is, though, this is what I found really strange.
What?
It's got a screw top. I couldn't believe it when I brought it home and I opened it and I thought, it's not got a cork on it. I was trying to pull the top off it. This must be a Japanese thing.
Must be.
Anyway,
so
and I know that you have a Yamazaki over there, and I have the Chita here, and I've sent you a wee bottle of that to try.
You have indeed. Right, so we need to write in the book what this is. Tell me what it is again.
Yeah, the one that I have is the Chita, Chita. It's a single grain Japanese whiskey, and it's, I suppose, the biggest kind of whiskey house across there is Suntory. So both our drams are by Suntory. So,
well done.
So we'll have yes, aye. The fact that it's written on the bottle helps. But anyway, I just had to check where the Yamazaki came from, if it was from the same whiskey house across there. So, but yeah, so I'm quite looking forward to this. As much as I can tell you on it, it's a non-age statement.
Oh, right.
It's 43% single grain. And this one's called Distiller's Reserve. It's probably about as much as I can tell you on it, Clark. I don't think I've got any other information with regards to it. But I'm quite looking forward to tasting it.
Indeed. Yeah, I think that's as much as I need to write now until we...
As much as you need to write to now. So,
we can't tell you what kind of cask it is, no?
It doesn't tell you anything like that at all. Nope.
Right.
Nope.
There you go.
Other than we'll know it's oak. That's all I can tell you. It doesn't tell you anything. I'm just going to Google it here, Clark, and see if I can find a bit more. So just give me a second till I just put this in. Okay.
What did we do with it?
Flagship release. Oh, it's aged in a combination of wine, sherry, and bourbon casks. If I write that, I've never even read the box, Clark. That's strange for me not to do that.
Right.
So it was the place was established in 1972. So yes, that's as much as I can tell you.
I wonder if it's rice wine.
It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that on this. No. It just says Inventive Green Whiskey Distillery. That's all it says. It doesn't mention any of that. Just doesn't say what the grain is. Just says it's a single grain. what it says here is that the distillery itself, not this one in particular, this bottle, the distillery itself uses 3 types of grain, but it mainly uses corn to create its grain whiskies. So it's mainly corn that's used. That's off the box, sorry.
Interesting. Right.
So anyway, and it's true what it says. It is very, very pale, very light in colour. You know. But we'll have a wee nose of it and see what we think.
Yeah, indeed. Just look to see if it's leggy, but what they say that's particular.
Well.
Right. Anyway, let's try
this. Have a wee nose at that. Do you know, just because it's Japan, it smells like apple blossom.
I thought you were going to say cherry blossom.
No. Smells like apple blossom rather than cherry blossom. It's very... What's the word I'm looking for? It's got that kind of varnishy...
Yes.
Nose
I was going to say it's a bit medicinal, but you're right, it's varnish. That's what it is. Yes, good.
But that's about as much as I'm getting. Appley blossom rather than the cherry blossom. I'm getting that.
Yeah, I would say you're right about
that kind of fresh apple smell in it. And it's got that varnishy.
Yeah.
Not so much furniture polish, but when I say that, I mean that might sound like that's not going to be very nice, the nose, but it's actually quite a pleasant nose.
It's quite pleasant.
You know? Not that I go sniffing varnish very often, but you know, it's just.
I know that you're admitting to it.
There's something else that's very light and very subtle in it. Like a coconut.
Oh, I was going to say pear drops, but coconut, yeah, I get coconut.
And I can get your, I can agree with your pear drops.
But yes, see now you've said coconut. That's about all I can smell is coconut.
So
that's good. Oh my goodness, that's I've just all I've got is a nose full of coconut.
It's very subtle. It's very subtle, but once you pick up that coconut, I know you can't ignore it.
You can't get it. That's right.
But it's nice. So it gives it that kind of pina colada nose to it.
Yes. Yeah.
That's nice. Very nice.
It's a nice
smell. I like that lightness and subtleness on the nose. Yep. So we'll just have a wee taste of this and see what we're like.
Sure.
So slanch.
Cheers.
The first thing is it's kind of caught the back of my throat a wee bit. It's got a wee bit of heat and pepperiness that's kind of caught me back here.
I think it's lovely. That's really nice.
It's a lovely drink.
That's really nice. It is, aye. I've got a mouthful of coconut as well. This is unbelievable. It is. It's very coconut. See if we get something else other than just coconut. It's a lovely warmth to it. That's really, really nice.
I was going to say that I don't know if that's like ginger. It's got a right ginger, spicy heat to it. It's lovely. I do like that.
Really nice.
And it just leaves a nice tingling on the tip of your tongue. Adjust my camera a wee bit. That's better. Then it
I was
leaves.
saying, actually, now that I've tasted it again, I was saying that it's got more finish than it has palate.
It has. I'm left with a mouthful of vanilla.
Uh-huh. And that coconut actually is in the finish rather than
Yeah.
the palate.
It is.
It's nice though. I like it. I do like it.
Aye, that's a nice dram, Clark.
That's really nice. It's quite
Another
floral
single
on the
grain.
tongue. It's quite floral on the tongue. That kind of subtle, blossomy that disappears as soon as you swallow it because you get all that coconut and vanilla hits you. I like it.
I just can't get over how nippy it is on my tongue.
It is, isn't it? Aye. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Not harsh.
No,
nippy.
not in the least. Not in the least. Very smooth, lovely.
Okay. I've scored mine, but I'm not going to tell you what it is at the moment. We're going to do the other one first, and then we'll look at how the scores are when we get to it.
Let's do mine first, then, eh?
Yep. Well, I finish off this dram.
What a lovely dram.
Aye, that's nice.
Is it?
So since you've got the Yamazaki with you, I'll let you tell me a wee bit about the Yamazaki on this.
Right then. We'll have a look at the box to see what it says. 10 years old.
Right.
The Yamazaki.
Mm-hmm.
Also by Suntory.
Mm-hmm.
And it's 40% by volume. See if it tells me anything about it. Well, the box tells me really nothing. Let's see what it says in here.
Let me see if I can find something on Dr. Google.
It really doesn't say anything at all about it, other than the history of the place.
Yamazaki 10-year-old. Let's see what I've got. According to this, it's distilled and aged in bourbon barrels, Clark.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you, have you got the box here? Can you show me what the box is? Just to make sure I'm looking at the same dram. Yes, that's the one that I've pulled up yet.
Yeah.
I was going to say it's got a picture of the rising sun and a pagoda on it. So that's
the very one.
So as much as I can find out about it here, it doesn't say very much. It's a discontinued 10-year-old single malt from Yamazaki Distillery, aged in bourbon barrels. That's as much as I can tell you.
Yeah.
And if that's the price of a bottle of it now,
I wish I kept it.
Aye, you wish you had. Aye, because according to this, if you want to buy a bottle today, because there's very few left, it's 695 quid, mate.
Yeah, what? Really?
Aye. Anyway, yes, I'm glad you gave me something to try.
What did you sell a bottle for?
I don't know. You must get about 100 quid for that. Maybe two.
Well, if it's not as good as the other one, we'll have a go at that.
Right. So the other thing I noticed, it's a wee bit darker than the last one. But again, single grain tends to be that wee bit lighter.
Well, look at the bottle. Look at the colour in the bottle. I don't know if you can notice, but it really looks. Of course, it's a brown bottle as well, so that's the help.
Yeah, it's a dark bottle, aye.
Your first impression is that's a dark-looking dram.
Yeah.
Right?
I think you can see the influence, probably, the bourbon cask on that. It's got that kind of readiness to the...
It's a bit darker. It's not. It doesn't look that. It's not awfully dark. It's just dark compared to the other one.
No. It's paler compared to the... darker compared to the other one. The other one was a lot paler. So we'll have a wee nosy at this, Clark, and see what we think compared to the last one.
Completely different.
Strange. Completely different. Very strange. I don't even... Clark, I don't know how to describe that at all.
I think it's orange peel dipped in varnish.
Aye, that's probably it. Aye, it's varnish. It's varnish marmalade.
They're obviously varnishing the inside of their barrels. It is a strange one, particularly when we're used to nosing, American oak barrels, and we're used to, or European oak barrels, and you get that vanilla-ness all the time, that you get from what, a barrel like that. I don't know what they do with these, because you would think that, they're going to get, like, a bourbon barrel is going to be an American oak. It's going to come from America, probably, a bourbon barrel. You would expect that that's what you get. That's what you would think. But I'm finding it hard to find any distinguishing nose, like you're saying, other than orange peel and varnish. It's like marmalade. It is, eh? Aye. Is there a wee
Perhaps
bit
once
of
No, I'm getting.
No,
I'm not getting any of that.
I just imagine it from the last one. Am I?
The thing that is coming through the more that I know is candy floss.
Candy floss. That was good. He says a wee touch of peaches in there as well.
Yes, I can get that. Yeah. Aye, so anyway, that's a strange one.
It is,
completely different from the last one we had.
It is,
which kind of really gave you a right bouquet in your nose. This isn't really doing that,
It really isn't, no. It really isn't.
So
I have a feeling that the really expensive one here is going to let us down compared to the newer one.
I remember buying a bottle of this, flying back through Heathrow Airport many moons ago. And they had, it was one of those ones where they had just come in to the UK, and I was at the airport, and I remember that the guy saying to me, I was walking through, obviously, the duty-free area a bit, and the chap saying, "Do you like whiskey?" And I'm saying, "Yes, right." So he says, "But do you fancy trying this? It's a Japanese whiskey." And I remember thinking to myself, or actually I didn't even think to myself, I said to him, "You're asking a Scotsman to try Japanese whiskey, where I get the best stuff back home." And he laughed and he says, "Try it." So I tried it, and it was a lovely dram. I didn't nose it or whatever else. I just tried the dram and gave me one of these wee thimble things. I actually bought a bottle there and then to bring home. It cost me, I think, about 40 quid or something.
Right.
And to think now that these are probably the bottles that are on sale now that are left for when I tried that, because it was a long while ago. It'd be well over 20 years ago since I tried that. So,
what hindsight you'd have got to?
I'm not sure about
I've probably drunk them both. Right, I'm not very good. I'm not very good at this. I couldn't be really a whiskey collector.
No,
I like a dram. I like to taste a dram too much to do that. I've got some that I've got a 2 or 3 here that I've bought that I've liked because I knew that they're now at the kind of stage of there's not many of those left. You know, they were in production many years ago. So I've got 2 or 3 here, but nothing like that. So let's have a wee taste at this.
Right, go on then.
See what we think.
Right. Cheers.
Slange, yep. There's nothing there.
There's a touch of warmth about it.
Aye.
Maybe I've had it so long it's lost its taste. I have no idea. No, there's it,
Or maybe the lashing was just that good.
the last one was
This shouldn't taste no so good.
We've done this a number of times.
Possible.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. That is actually a very, very pleasant dram. There's just...
Aye, but I've got nothing on the palate.
No, not really.
I've got a wee bit of vanilla on the finish.
Mm-hmm. Aye, but you've not got a mouthful like you had the last time. Not at all.
No, that to be fair, this is a disappointment.
It is, aye. It's compared to the last one. That is a real disappointment. I'm glad I didn't buy 2. Mm-hmm.
This actually might be one of the lowest scores I think I've ever given to a malt whiskey.
I don't know. Right? I think the problem is we're comparing this to an exceptional whiskey that we just had. I don't.
I know, but
it's just not exceptional.
But I'm not saying it's a bad whiskey.
No, it's not.
It's just not got all the kind of attributes that you're looking for any dram. You know that there's very little in the nose, which is when we're having a dram. I love to nose it, and I love to be able to sit and try and fathom out the various kind of things that I'm getting.
There's no various anything in that.
And there's no, and then I'm tasting it.
There's a wee smell of rubber. I think that's about all I'm getting.
And I can't even say I'm getting a bourbon influence in my mouth.
It's a wee bit disappointing, as you say.
And my finish, other than being a bit of warmth on my tongue and a wee hint of vanilla at the back, it's not what I would expect. This isn't what I remember tasting when I was buying a bottle of Yamazaki 20 years ago. Not that I maybe remember that, but I remember the first time I tasted it, I thought, oh, what a nice dram that is. It is a nice dram.
It is a nice dram. It's just, it's not remarkable.
But wouldn't you pay, there's no way you'd pay 690 quid for it.
Not a chance.
I'm just like, I'm like,
not unless I thought I could sell it for more.
Right. So I am. To be fair, that Chita was lovely.
It was superb. I'm wondering if I've just had it for so long that it's
lost all its. I don't know if it does that. I can't tell you if it does.
I don't know if it does that or no. I didn't know enough about it. But
maybe one of our fellow dram tasters who catches up and watches us might put a wee note on our YouTube channel or something like that, or message. I'll maybe stick a message on my Instagram page to get a bit of feedback on whether a malt whiskey, if it's been open for too long, can lose all its nose and flavour.
I think the Angels have stole it all.
Well, if that's the case, I hope they've stole loads of it. So when we get there, when they give us a drama Yamazaki, when we get there, they're going to go, hey, look, we took all the stuff out of it. It's all here. It's all we is.
It's all here. Come and enjoy yourself, guys. Sounds like heaven to me.
Well then, I said that I would hold our scores back to the end.
You did.
But I'd have to say that there's only one winner here between these two.
Absolutely, aye. I would say so too.
And when I was out there in Dubai, I had the Habiki, which really was nice. It was very much like the Chita. It was a great nose and it tasted amazing. And I had the Takisuru as well, was the other one that I tried. And to be fair, on the night when I tasted them, because I tried the Takisuri and I had something else when I was there. Can't remember what it was. Tried them both on the same night. I had the Habiki the first night when I arrived. But they were all very similar. And to be fair, these are quite similar as well in the kind of peppery, spicy side of it. The nose is completely different and the taste is completely different. But they were all very subtle, very smooth. There was nothing in them that was harsh. There was no smokiness or anything like that was in any of the drams. But I might have kicked this one into touch with my score.
You might have done that. The Japanese certainly do a good copy of a Scotch whisky. They do. They're really, really nice. Anything that I've tasted is Japanese. You'll be far more of an expert than I am, but you've drank far more of them than I have. But they seem to be very, very pleasant drams.
They are. I mean, as I said, they are. They've all been pleasant. I've never had a Japanese whiskey that I've not liked. I've liked everything that I've tasted. But I think I should temper that with the fact that it's not a Scottish single malt whiskey, not in the way that we would expect a whiskey to be. No, but that'll be the same all over the world, Clark. Sure. They're not going to be the same. The way that we distill whiskey here and how we want to manufacture it to sell it to the rest of the world, people expect a particular, experience from a Scottish malt whiskey. I mean, the English malt whiskies we've had have been nice as well. We've not had a bad English malt whiskey either. No, but it doesn't taste like anything like we get up here. No, it doesn't. No. I think the variety that we have in Scotland, whether it be West Coast, Highland or Lowland malts, Island malts, that we've all got that. You've either got that peatiness or smokiness, and they get this spiciness into them as well. Whereas I think sometimes it's kind of too similar and too samey with, like the Japanese or the English or even the ones that I've had. That Swedish malt whiskey that we tried, was it Swedish, the Stona? It was quite nice as well. We did that. We had a wee jar that we tasted.
Stona.
Stona. So anyway. It's nice. So how have you scored them, Clark?
Right then, here we go. just on my book. Right. Right, we'll start with the Yamazaki. Right, very disappointing. I'm giving it a 68 because it is disappointing. It's not a bad whiskey by any manner of means. It's pleasant enough, but there's nothing distinctive about it. There's nothing about it you go, oh,
Yeah.
I can really taste that it's missing. Right, and then the Chita, I've given an 89 because
Right.
I thought it was really nice. In fact, I've maybe been a bit mean. It probably could have gone better than that. It probably could have gone.
Is that right? Well, I gave the Yamazaki a 63.
There you go. Uh-huh.
It's not what I expected.
No.
I expected more. I'd have to say the Yamazaki that I had in Dubai was the 12-year-old, no the 10. So maybe that's why I was expecting a wee bit more from it and didn't get that. And the Chita, I have scored that an 84.
54, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
So
I've seen the score I had. I really liked that. And you can see that in my scoring. With an 8. I thought that was a lovely job. Really, really nice.
well, that's one that
I'm so disappointed a bottle of Yamazaki in the house rather than a Chita.
I'd have swapped you, but you've not got much left in that, Ian.
No, that's good with you.
But I've got plenty here for us to have a dram at some other point.
I'm so pleased to hear that.
You know that the whiskey cupboard's always open for you.
No, that's brilliant.
So you can come and enjoy one in the bothy anytime you want.
That's what
As I know I'm welcome to do when I come and visit yourself.
Absolutely.
Just got to remember that I've got to bring Jennifer to drive the car to get me home again, but that's another story. Anyway, so that's been our little flavour of Japan tonight, which we'll find out what some folks thought. They'll maybe drop a wee message on our YouTube channel, or they might come and put a wee message on our Instagram page or something like that, just to give us some feedback of what their thoughts are on any Japanese whiskey that they've had. So, and get a wee bit of idea on what else is available out there and whatever. But we'll say good night to them just now, because I can't believe we've been on just over half an hour. It's quite a long one for us this evening, but we did 2 drams, which is really unusual. So, but that's fine. So we'll bid you a fond farewell, folks. I would like to have said it in Japanese, but I didn't know how to. So it'll just be good night. You know, sayonara probably. It's maybe as close as we get to it. If that means goodbye, having a Scooby. But anyway, good night, folks, and we will see you again in the tasting bothy.
Good night.